I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. My life has value.
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Global Watchman News. My name's Lori Swan, and I'm joined by my co-host tonight, Ernie Beware. Hey, Ernie.
What's up?
What's up? We wanted to welcome everybody in our live chat. If you are in there, we do ask that you keep it family friendly. There will be moderators into there to make sure that we stay within the terms of service put forward to us by the platforms we're utilizing tonight. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Take a minute, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when we go live. Wow, Ernie. Wow.
Right? Soon as CERN lit up, all hell breaks loose.
Yeah. And, there are some people on the opposite side that says, this isn't caused by CERN, but there's a lot of, you got to admit, there's a lot of things going on since last Tuesday.
Absolutely. And, we don't believe in coincidences.
Oh, absolutely not.
Not at all.
We don't believe in happenstances or coincidences. And, with that being said, I apologize for the Saturday night show. My husband is taking me to the Renaissance Fair tomorrow for my birthday, so I will be gone all day. Will not be available for tomorrow night. So I appreciate you guys joining us for the special Saturday night episode. Thank you, Ernie, for joining me as well. I know it was last minute. I do apologize.
Oh, it's fine. I just hope you eat a whole turkey leg on me.
I told him about that. I was like, we got to get those big Henry VIII turkey legs, and he's never been to one, so it's going to be so much fun.
It's a blast.
Yeah,
watching people, play fighting and stuff like that, dressing up like during the Renaissance era. It's pretty cool.
Hold on, just a second. Hold on. I am live. Okay, I apologize. The person that I messaged a few minutes ago regarding the South Dakota topic is calling me back. So no worries. I apologize. Yes. So yeah. So you've been there. You've been to a Renaissance fair before.
Yes, when I was younger.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun. We do have them around here once or twice a year. Not necessarily in the town that I live in, but in the outskirts of the country area. But when I was there, I had a good time. I didn't dress up like them.
No, we're not either.
Now you mentioned that, I kind of want to go and dress like them. People look at me funny being a brown man and everything.
Well, what's funny is I used to go every last weekend in March for my ex-boyfriend's birthday. We used to have it in Globe, Arizona. And I always, every year I would say, we got to dress up next year. And we never did. So.
You got to do it at least once.
I know it. I got to.
Make sure you post photos too.
Oh, I have tons of photos. Okay. Damien might be joining us. I'm not sure. So I want to go through this first. So, Linda, our lead moderator in the chat room, Linda Firefighter, lives up in Canada, and she was telling us how there was a complete power outage, cell phones, internet, and the banking system was completely down in Canada yesterday, and part of today. I don't even think they've got it back up and running all the way. But we have ABC News here. It says widespread network outages disrupts internet and cell phone services transactions in Canada. Widespread network outages left many Canadians without mobile internet services for most of Friday, disrupting police, businesses, and court services as crowds flocked to work in coffee shops with Wi-Fi. Rogers Communication Inc. said it started restoring service late in the day and said the teams were working hard to get everyone back online as quickly as possible. Now, when you're talking about these power outages or these network outages, to have an entire country be affected by it is very concerning.
Yes, and especially when we uncovered some more news revolving around this.
Yeah. So, okay. So this happened yesterday. Let me put this big up on the screen for you guys just to see. And then I'm going to take us to, now remember the date yesterday was, what was the date yesterday? July 8th, 2022. Cyber Polygon 2022 to take place on July 8th. Now you know who Cyber Polygon is. Well, if you don't, we're going to tell you who it is. Cyber Polygon is is organized by Bizone, an expert in digital risk management, with the support of the World Economic Forum Center for Cybersecurity and INTERPOL. The training is conducted on an annual basis and will take place for the fourth time in 2022. The central theme this year is digital resilience in the cloud age. The event will consist of 3 parallel tracks. One, an online conference with a participation of top executives from global organizations, technical cybersecurity training for corporate teams, and expert talks from leading specialists in practical cybersecurity. Back last year, we did a huge broadcast, which is now gone because it was on the other channel, about Cyber Polygon, talking about how they are testing the internet. And it just so happens that on this day, Canada, and we were saying many, many other countries. How many were there?
I believe there wasn't it like 14?
Something like, yeah, 14. 13 or 14, 15, something like that. Nations worldwide were having difficulties or being affected by it. So this wasn't just a Canadian thing, which is very interesting. Come on. Again, coincidences, happenstances. Yeah.
Yeah, I never heard of those. And I mean, just from the description of what you read of what this event is. They've been doing this for a couple of years now. As far as the best minds in the field gathering together and taking place, they obviously have a pretty good grasp on what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and what to say about it. And as I just said earlier, there's no such thing as coincidences. I don't even know what that word means.
Right, exactly. And there's more than there's more than one or two articles about this. Here's the thing is, I found an article that said that the Cyber Polygon has postponed Russian host announces. They said they postponed it. But I believe, and this is something that we talked about before we went live, we believe that there was a play on words. And I'm going to pull that up to show you guys. So I can totally transparent with you. So this is saying that it was scheduled to take place July 8th. Cyber Polygon 2022 was officially postponed. The drill was postponed. I believe that this went live. And how many times do we see on a national, just put it this in the United States on a national level, how many times have we seen drills go live here in the United States in just the past, I don't know, 5 years, 10 years?
Quite a few. Yeah. Quite a few.
Again,
and the fact that they're telling you the truth. It was postponed.
Right. Damien, I'm going to pull you. Damien, I see you in the chat room, hon. I'm going to pull you on as soon as we're done with the Cyber Polygon. And I'm going to pull you on for the second topic that we're going to talk about. And I'll tell everybody why you're coming on, because this guy right here, the Reckoning, Damien MAYNARD, was the man that I did the show on about this. And I can't believe it was either in 2016 or 2017. Maybe he would recollect a little bit more when he comes on which year it was. But we're gonna, so I'll bring you on in just a few minutes. Send me your email over on Facebook so I can send it to you. He has a problem getting on at Facebook. He has to have an email.
So we look at Event 201, and we look at Cyber Polygon. They're both funded and ran by the same organization that pretty much is doing everything right now. And the fact that the last time Event 201 occurred was what we're going through right now. You can put two and two together. You can
October
put
2008.
Exactly. So, I mean, it adds up. They leave it to us to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And now we have, we can see right through this BS.
Exactly. And Cyber Polygon is one of the main guys that runs it is Klaus Schwab. And you guys would know that name from the World Economic Forum. And the World Economic Forum wants everyone who resists the Great Reset to be forced into China-style re-education camps. And that was said open. They openly said that. And what I thought was kind of interesting is that another article, let me take Mr. Schwab out of here. I found another article blaming the outage on none other than China. We keep hearing China pop up an awful lot, like in the not so good scenarios either. I mean, every time we talk about something, bad, whether it be the woohoo thingy or the Event 201 or anything like that, we hear China being brought into it.
Yeah, it's weird that they blame so much on China, but yet rely on them so much for a lot of the things that we enjoy today.
Exactly. And China's responsible for the chips in our phones and all of our electronics, our computers, our cars, our machinery, all kinds of things. And I've always said I don't trust China. I'm positive, China puts a back door in every electronic module that they create. And they have it. We even depend on China technology to defend our country and our missile bases. How? I mean, that makes no sense to me.
Absolutely. And they already were caught with espionage. Orange Man banned a couple of the mobile communication companies. One was responsible for a lot of the 5G mobile infrastructure in the United States alone. And them completely banning them with some of the most important infrastructural technology has a vast impact of what we do today. Even some of the apps that we're using today have servers and or owned by people who are of the Chinese and the Chinese government.
Yeah. And we're not putting the Chinese people down. We're talking about the and I think a lot of people have that problem is they don't know that you can decipher. I have no problems with any people. I have problems with governments, and that is what's doing it. It's not the people. The people weren't responsible for the woohoo thing. It wasn't them, So it's just. It's crazy that they keep popping up no matter what we're talking about.
Right. And it just seems like they are intentionally allowing all of this to happen.
Me too. I think that's exactly
and
right.
Provoking things like this to happen.
Exactly. And then using them as a scapegoat. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. But it's definitely Linda, are you back online? Well, obviously she might be if she's here.
Yeah, she posted something in chat earlier.
Okay, good. Very good. Because I'm going to check the outage map real quick. I should have had it pulled up, but I didn't. I apologize. Outage maps, down detector. Let's see what we got. No current problems in Canada we're good. Looks like your guys are good. But again, this was yesterday, and the CyberPolygon testing was only for 1 day as well. Yes, Richard, we are. Rick says we're being trained to think of them as the enemy. And that's why I think it's important that we distinguish between the two, between the government and the people. I don't have a problem with any people. I have a problem with the CCCP, but I don't have a problem with the actual people. They're just as much victims of their own country as, they are victims of their own country. Put it that way.
I mean, there's in most cases, they're suffering worse than we are right now.
Exactly. And, they're tyrannical over there, literally. They have no regard for human life whatsoever. So we will keep an eye on that. Maybe something will pop up in the next couple of days. So we're going to move on to the next topic, which is, and Damien, you can jump on anytime. I sent it to your email. In 2 seconds, I got to pull up a video. We're going to play a video real quick. I'm going to keep the volume down because I don't want to get struck. This was in South Dakota. Oops, give me a second. This was in South Dakota, July 6th, I think it was. This was South Dakota. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of background. This was the green sky. I'm going to pull up. I have a still of it. There's a still picture of the green sky in South Dakota. Now the reason why I'm talking about this is because I'll get you just a second, Damien.
No worries.
There is a huge $60 million project right now that's using specialized detectors 1 mile below the surface in South Dakota to find dark matter. Now, the reason why this is such a big deal, or we think that is having effect, is because this was the day after CERN came online. This happened. DAMION, I want to introduce everybody. This is DAMION MAYNARD, the Deep Southern Sentinel. Been friends with him for years. He was part of the Sentinels when I was back. I think we joined in 2016.
2014.
No, 16.
2000. Oh wait, no, it was 2015.
Yeah, you're right. December 2015. So
Yep.
DAMION and I did a live broadcast either in 2016 or 17 about something that we found out that pertained to uranium-1 that they were doing in the mines of South Dakota.
Yep.
And we were real big on the uranium-1 at the time because of the Bundy standoff in the Malheur refuge up in Oregon. And we knew that it had a lot to do with uranium-1 and what's her name? Hillary Clinton, and Russia.
Uranium-1, Russia.
Yeah. So we started digging figuratively, and we discovered that they were doing something in the mines of South Dakota. Now, let me pull this up. Now, this all happened one day after CERN came online. And Ernie, we don't believe in coincidences.
No, we don't.
This was July 8th. This one came out. It says lead South Dakota. That is the exact same spot, DAMION, wasn't it? Because we were pronouncing it lead and people were correcting us. It is lead South Dakota. Scientists have begun a new search for a mysterious dark matter in the former gold mine a mile underground. Dark matter makes up most of the mass of the universe, but scientists don't know what it is. The hope is that the experiment will block most of the radiation that is consistently flying through the universe, allowing only dark matter particles to slip through the light and light up a pool of liquid xenon held in the titanium tank. Scientists announced Thursday that the 5-year, $60 million experiment in South Dakota finally got underway 2 months ago after a delay caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. We know through researching CERN, and we mentioned this the other day, with dark matter, if they lose containment at one spot where they're holding dark matter, they lose containment with all of the dark matter that has been harnessed. Am I right, Ernie?
That is correct.
And we know that human beings contain dark matter as well. So this has an effect on all living creatures.
Dark matter is incorporated into all of the universe.
Exactly.
So everything that's living has dark matter in it, but not totally comprised of dark matter.
Right. It makes up, well, as of right now, they think it makes up just a very small part of it. And it takes, literally, I think over the course
of here on Earth, yes, a small part of it. In a larger scheme of things, like dark matter is what really makes up the universe outside of our of planets.
Right. So the day that CERN fires up, that night and into the next day, we've got these things that are right over the spot where, now, Ernie, question. Could they have shaken up the dark matter at CERN, which shook up the dark matter at South Dakota?
Based off of what our findings are, absolutely. Now, dark matter is actually can be referred to as antimatter, correct?
Yes, I would agree.
So, with every piece of matter, which is physical thing we see that has dark matter associated with it, and we are understanding that dark matter is something that can affect somebody both physically and mentally, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so right now I firmly believe that this is the physical aspect of dark matter not being contained properly.
Exactly. And
you think that maybe, okay, this is maybe a stretch, but between the dark and the light, we have dark and light in all of us. All of us have dark and light in us. So with the release of that dark matter in the form that it was, do you think that could bring darkness to humanity and make people evil, if you will?
That's funny. You should bring that up.
Right?
Funny you should bring that up. Ernie and I are in constant communication, and we are constantly bumping things off of one another. And
I miss talking to you, as a matter of fact. Thank you.
Oh, babe, I'm sorry. So, okay, so let's go back and go into the thing we're not supposed to talk about. Okay, that thing, the sticky in the army thing, we're not supposed to talk about. Do you remember when we were telling you guys about what they were finding during the autopsies? They were finding these things, these sinuous things in people's blood vessels that looked like.
Are you talking about what's it called? It's called Magellans.
That's what some people are referring to them. Yes.
Magellans disease.
Yeah, they're finding these, like, the only thing I can think of, and I can explain it, is to me it's like the Hydra. It's got these little tentacles that come out of it, and it's sinuous.
Yeah, and they're different colors and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I actually know somebody who had that.
Yeah. Well, this is what this is where we're going out on the limb here to talk about, this. But when you think about, people are talking about the black goo, the programmable black goo. If you guys don't know what that is, please go over and watch Nicholson 1968. He's done a fantastic job for years exposing what the black goo is. Black goo is something that is programmable. It is actually it's almost like a sentient being. And they're putting stuff like this into the thing we're not supposed to talk about, the arm thing.
Right.
Once
the VAXXXXXX.
That thing. So
yeah.
So now when you think about it, when you talk about CERN and the black matter, when they told us, or dark matter, they said that, look, if we lose containment of dark matter in one spot, because it's connected, it's all connected. If we lose containment in one spot, we lose containment in every other spot where it is. So that means that
because it's all connected.
Right. So that would mean it would go into our brains, our personality. We would have changes in us. We'd have changes in our surroundings, in the weather, in the it's just, it affects everything, guys. Like everything. Graphene. Thank you, Rick. Graphene. Yes, the graphene. So, it's just odd that all of these things are happening this week. We don't believe in.
You know what? It actually is.
Right?
I had not thought about that, but it's true. Absolutely true.
Exactly. So, this is something that I really think we need to keep an eye out. I don't think there's a lot of people that understand what's going on underneath South Dakota and the correlation between the weather they're having.
Not only that, but like you were saying about the uranium mining there, uranium mining is an intricate thing. It really is. And with them building the pipeline through there, that was a way for them to disguise uranium mining and the whole dark matter thing, because that was happening a mile underground instead of just like a few feet underground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
what's interesting. No, I did not mute you. I haven't touched anybody. Oops. Are you unmuted now?
Can you hear me now?
Now I can. Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. So, then you were talking, right?
Well, I have a thought.
Okay.
Now this is one thing we really haven't talked about in quite a while is 5G technology.
Oh yeah, we have to be careful.
Yes, and when we're talking about the wavy thingy that comes from the metal thingy. Now,
the metal thingy.
Yes, the tall metal thingy that makes us be able to talk on a wireless thingy.
Those tall metal things.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, yep. I understand.
Now, in my personal opinion, from all the research that I have done on that technology, that all can be connected, whether it's a containment mechanism or using it as something to affect us negatively.
Well, and I believe that okay, this is going to sound weird and odd, but I swear to God it's true. In the middle of the night, I can hear voices and can't quite make out exactly what they're saying sometimes, and I swear I'm not crazy. I'm not. But I can hear voices, music, different things in the middle of the night when I'm just laying there. And I believe personally that it's coming from my phone. And I can't prove it. I can't justify why I think that. I'm just saying that I believe that they are sending stuff through our phones in the middle of the night. Like, I honestly believe that.
Well,
the technology is there.
Right.
No, I mean, I hear it.
First off, the technology is there. The voice to God, the voice to skull technology is there. Secondly,
I hear it. Do you guys hear anything like that?
No, but I sleep in the middle.
I mean, that's what I'm hearing in the middle of the night.
It would make sense because when you're sleeping, that is when you are more apt,
but I can't sleep because I'm hearing stuff.
Gotcha.
You've been mapped.
Driving me crazy.
Trish, I want to introduce you to Damien. And Ernie, I didn't formally introduce you to Damien.
Hi.
Hi.
What's that, Trish?
I was saying he's been mapped.
Yeah.
That's if you go into Dr. Robert Duncan's research, you'll find out that I think that's what they're trying to head towards for everybody is to get mapped. And
and what do you mean exactly by that?
They put noise in your head. They singled
me out because I'm doing stuff they don't like.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Yeah, well, that would probably be true.
Yeah. But I think there's a long-term purpose. At first, they just said this was what was happening with those that were being gang stalked. Okay, but I think it kind of plays into the bigger picture of what's really going on. You know what I mean? Because like Lori just said, the voice of God. Not the real God, but
the voice that they've made.
Yeah. Now
they have become God.
Yes, and what's that guy's name? Is it Yuri? You guys help me out. The guy that says we are hackable animals now.
Yuval Harari.
Yes.
Yuval Harari, yeah.
We are.
I'm not hackable.
They
I'm not
hacked into you.
hackable.
They hacked into your head.
See, I know
beyond
for a fact, Damien. I know for a fact, Damien is not jabbed, so it can't be that. I know I'm
I'm
not
not hackable. You can't.
No,
hack
but
me.
you've been mapped.
mapped, not hacked,
been
but
mapped.
mapped.
No,
Oh.
but they've been hacked. They will be hacked, but you're mapped. And
I can turn my phone off and throw that bitch away.
no, it's not. It's not coming from your. Well, it might be coming from your phone, but
It is. I promise you, it is.
my husband has it. It's anytime he can drive into a town and he goes, the noise is back in my head. But then when we go out in the country, he doesn't hear it. Whenever he's near like
5G. Yeah, I get it.
The thing.
Yeah.
Those tower things. That's when he hears the noise, and he says it gives him a headache. It's annoying, and it's
because it's those towers put off radiation, and they are emitting things that are detrimental to society. And I lived near one in California, and it was deafening, honestly.
Yeah.
And now that I live in South Carolina, I don't have any of that around me, really, although they do have 5G running through your phones. So,
Some
in
phones,
saying that,
not all phones yet.
in saying that, they are using 5G to transmit things through people's phones. And if you don't have it a long distance away from you when you're sleeping, or like in another room or turned off or whatever, then it can transmit things. And you don't know what it's going to be. Like, it could be music. It can be someone's voice, or
it could be subliminal messages. It could be
I'm
neuro-linguistic
not doing all
programming. I mean, it could be anything. You know, they've been doing this to us for years with the backmasking and the music, and then if you watch the movie They Live with the hidden codes. Okay, so I think that's what they're doing. Like 24/7 on a
I would
loop.
agree with that. I would totally agree with that. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
And I just wanted to say that I've been kind of quiet. I haven't been around much because I've been really into the research, and I've been I don't know if you guys have heard of Jetson White, I think is his name. Have you guys heard of him? He kind of correlates and overlaps with 107, and I know we're not Q followers here, but some of this overlaps with that information, and they go into the green. The color green is their go signal. And if you look at the McAfee,
green is go.
Yeah, and you look at the McAfee drops, everything's like a neon green, and then all of a sudden they got the Giza. So here's what Jetson White's saying: that there's going to be a celestial event coming up very soon. And what the celestial event, it has something to do, I'm not a scientist, but it has to do with the Giza. Now, the other day, they crashed a rocket onto the moon called the Capstone, the NASA Capstone. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but that is going to signal, it's like a transponder, and it's going to signal to the Giza pyramids and the alignment of the planets. I think it's Venus or something, and it's going to shoot a laser down
it's going to be 5 planets that are in alignment.
Okay, so it's going to be super powerful, and it's going to shoot that laser like precision into the Giza. And you know, Giza pyramid is not just a building. It's like it has to do with Tesla.
If you look,
it's an energy producer.
It's a high-tech antennas.
But
if you look above,
now that the Nile River does not flow through there, and the water does not go up into the chambers like it's supposed to, the energy that the pyramids once built does not build anymore, because the water
our conductors. At
the time that the pyramids were built, the Nile was a very strong river. It flew through there very strongly. It was a deep river, and it flowed underneath the pyramids. But it does not do that anymore.
And isn't there like a resonance chamber under there? Because according to this Jetson White,
Yes,
this is
but
going to
now
set
that
off
the
the
water
doomsday
does not
device.
exist, it does not resonate the way that it used to.
Okay, so this
Water's
is,
used as a conductor, and it doesn't have that water. If you listen to this picture here, if you look above the pyramids, it looks just like a motherboard.
yes, it does. Like the inside your phone with little sigils.
Absolutely.
And you know what sigils are?
Absolutely.
It's witchcraft language.
Absolutely.
So this, they call it the hellish near-death experience. It's the doomsday device. They also call it Lionsgate. And it's somehow like it connects to the capstone thing that NASA just put on the moon. And what it's going to do is it's going to work hand in hand with the people that got that, you know what?
Right.
Now, I don't know if that means they're going to turn into the thing that, you know, the Amazon is in the Amazon contract and the thing the military's been, you know, training for.
And the CDC is talking about, exactly.
Yeah. But I don't know if we can say it, but.
Probably not.
We can say anything we want, but they might not like it.
Yeah. See, here's the thing, though, Damien. I just had another channel removed 2 weeks ago. This is my last one. Well, it's not my last one.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing I'm talking. That's why I don't. That's why I don't do shows on the computer anymore.
I know it is.
Because my computer got fried.
I know
the last time that I did a really great show was talking about the pipeline and all that, and then suddenly everything got fried. So that's why I don't do shows on the internet anymore. It's because I obviously said something that was, and I had a brand new $1,000 computer.
I know.
I mean, and yeah, you remember. Like, I got fried in the middle of a show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it does sound like you're a TI for sure because you've been mapped. You hear the noise in your head, and they're messing with your electronics. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what
guys.
I'm saying, but they can't get to me like that. Like,
Well,
I will not sleep. That's fine, but you can't get to me and like make me think that I'm crazy. That's not going to happen.
Good. Good. Good.
I mean,
I just saw the Jurassic World Domination today. And you're not going to believe what was on the license plate. It said August 2022.
August what?
2022.
August. Well, we've been saying that we think that things are ramping up. This second half of the year, from July until the end of the year.
Absolutely, and the poles are shifting too. So that may be the time span that they think the poles are going to shift, because when that happens, there is going to be a lot of crazy stuff happening. We're going to have blizzards in places that never had snow. There is going to be a lot of stuff going on.
Chaos.
When the poles shift.
Chaos. It's going to be chaos.
Chaos. Absolutely. 100%.
Speaking of chaos, guys, I've noticed this, and I've actually mentioned it a couple of times. Have you noticed the people out there posting memes of the Georgia Guidestones are using the Kek God of chaos?
I've seen a few of those.
Those would be plants, I would believe. Hold
on a second. Let me pull up the Kek, because I was told today that I was assuming people knew what it was, and people didn't.
Chaos. Why would anybody say chaos when the Georgia Guidestones were destroyed if they weren't part of it?
Well, what I'm saying is there people are using the meme, the Kek, the K-E-K. This is the Kek. It's the frog. It's the frog god. It's the god of chaos. This is the one right here. You see the crying Kek. Here we have the other Kek. This is the Kek god of chaos. And we can see here where it says, Kek is the deification of the primordial concept of darkness in ancient Egyptian religion. It embodies the time right before the dawn, making him a bringer of light. Kek is portrayed as a man with a frog head. Hieroglyphics, Kek is portrayed as a man seemingly sitting on the computer screen. This came out in the open, used publicly the first time during the 2016 presidential elections. And they said that they were, there's actually a Kek religion out there, if you can believe that. But I just thought it was pretty weird that people are using the Kek God as let me see if I can find it over on Facebook. I already know where I could go to get it because.
Okay, I have a question.
God love him.
We have so many people that put pictures of gods up. Where's the picture of the actual God? That's something for you to think about.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Well, I mean, Damien, you and I are different.
You're breaking up real bad, honey.
I would say different sides
we grew
of
up,
the religious aspect
in a
of it.
religion that taught us.
Here we go.
We grew up in a religion that taught us something different, and tried to transpose something that was written thousands of years ago, supposedly, and by English people, no less, and then transposed it into something new, and I just can't believe any of it.
Right. And and that's perfectly fine. I mean, that's something that you and I, we've had long discussions throughout the night, many nights.
Yes, we have, and you are one of my best friends in the world. I miss you so much. I really do.
I miss you too.
You were one of my most cherished friends. You really
Don't
are.
make me cry, Damien. Don't make me cry. I'm back with you guys now. So
you really are one of my most cherished friends. Like, you've never faltered, you've never failed, you've always been the greatest friend to me, and I love that. Thank you.
I love you, Damien. I do.
I love you.
I knew you would remember the show that we did and talking about South Dakota, and I just thought this was just too much of a coincidence. Again, we don't believe
apropos. It really is apropos.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, and this is something, Ernie, what I think at this point we're just going to continue to recycle everything we say is getting people's houses in order, getting ready for whatever's coming. Look, we've got how many 20 some I don't know, 2 dozen countries that are literally falling apart. Sri Lanka is now another country we're going to add to the list. I think it was last night we did the show. We were talking about the countries. We were talking about Boris Johnson that is going to be resigning.
India, China, Russia.
Now Sri Lanka has now fallen, and the people are rising up. Guys, this is going to have a domino effect. We're going to see this, and this is my opinion. This is going to be.
It is a time for revolution.
But this is going to be the perfect time for the rise of the Antichrist to come in and to bring in the one world government. If there's no governments to rule the people, they're going to have no choice but to bring the UN in. And when the UN comes in, what happens after that? That's when the
fall of the people, unless they fight back. Yeah. It has to be a revolution. And the UN isn't big enough to take over everybody.
Exactly. Which is why they're going to have to come in as the one world government.
I see that free radical, the pale, the green horse. Maybe that's the green. It's also their signal. Okay, it's go time, guys. And it's also that's their signal telling us this is the green horse time.
Well, it's interesting because back in 2014, green was the color that they used for the Ebola outbreak in Sierra Leone as well. So it's interesting that green that they decide to use. I'm going to actually put up something.
I think Canada's next. I saw thing on Telegram. I think it was General McInerney or whatever his name is, and
Mhm.
he said
McNamara,
something like that. He says
General
Canada's next.
McNamara.
Is he reliable? His information?
I would think so. I mean, he is a leader and knows the things that are going on. General McNamara is quite the influential person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm pretty
Just
sure
like General Petraeus. General Petraeus was a great general. He was. And the government, the people that entrusted him to make the right decisions would not listen to what he said, which is why he retired.
Mm.
And I know all this because I'm a very big proponent of military. I know a lot of military individuals. I've met generals, colonels, all the way down to privates. And I know for a fact that when a general is overseas and he is making decisions for the troops, the government makes decisions based on what that general says that they should do. And they don't always listen.
What's this, Trish?
That's the thing I was just telling you about. He posted that today, that Canada's next. What happened in Sri Lanka?
A little bird just informed me that what happened in Sri Lanka will happen in Canada. Wow.
I mean, so there's so much going on in multiple places. It's hard to keep up. And like I posted on Facebook earlier today, all you have to do is look at your dollar bill. It's right there. Order out of chaos.
And do you know why that won't happen here in the U.S.?
Why?
Because there is a blade behind every blade, or there is a gun behind every blade of grass.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Here's the thing is we can pray that it doesn't happen, because I firmly believe that the United States is the last bastion of hope against the New World Order. If we fall, it will rise.
If we fall, the rest of the world falls.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Absolutely it is.
But in my little town, I'm up in northern Nevada. I know.
Oh, where at?
The Sierra Nevadas.
Yeah, you like Carson City, Lake Tahoe? Where are you?
Yeah, in that area,
Yeah,
Gardnerville.
I live in Carson. I love Carson City.
Yeah, it's a nice
I
area.
love Tahoe. I know all that area.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
Damien, I'm gonna give a shout out to Damien, and I hope I don't embarrass him, but Damien is well known for, you walked across the country for our military troops.
Yeah,
Wow.
6,489 miles.
Wow.
Yes.
Man, I'd like to do that. I could lose some weight.
And I started from Carson City. I started from the Capitol building.
Wow.
Yes. So Damien, he's a matter of fact, let me find you.
Oh, but what I was going to say about that is that where I live, I know my hairdresser and her friend have both seen on different occasions a big giant bus, white bus at that Walmart parking lot, like early, like.
Oh yeah, that's for Janet. They pick up people to go to.
No, this is like a school bus size, and it's full of immigrants, and they're brushing their teeth and spitting in the parking lot early in the morning.
What?
I think they're staging these people, so when it's time, they're going to be planted all over the U.S. All these people that have been coming in. And
yeah, that's a very, very good possibility.
And our military, there's a chunk of them are going to they just got fired or going to get fired, you know? So, like, who's going to protect us? Except ourselves.
Us. I'm sorry. This might get you banned, but.
No.
That.
No.
That's what's going to save us right there. Sorry. That was only 1 second. I don't think they can ban you for that.
I don't know. Up on the screen,
Oh,
I'm
that's
playing.
cool.
I'm up on the screen. I'm playing. This is from Damien Menard's
I don't think they can ban
YouTube
you
channel.
for 1 second.
No, you're fine. This shows that this was him and his walk across the U.S. So
Yeah,
and
and you know what? That was the best journey of my whole life, and I've been on many journeys in my life, but that really taught me a lot about the military, about how our government works, and those things together, and actually demolishes the freedoms that we're supposed to have. Like I was stopped multiple times and searched and everything for nothing. I wasn't doing anything wrong.
right.
And so it really showed me the brighter part of life, but it also showed me a very, very dark side of life. And I sometimes struggle to separate the two
I know you do.
because I remember that dark side, and it weighs heavily upon me, because the people that I met upon my journey like really threw some heavy stuff on me, you know.
Right.
And but at the same time,
Please understand that.
at the same time, I have this brighter light that says that people are inherently good, but that's becoming increasingly not true, because
Because I always heard that too. But then, so that's why I like when I was in dangerous circumstances, I think my mind's playing tricks on me, because like I'm hearing someone say something out of their mouth, but I'm looking at the photos on the wall of them as a family person. So it's like a mind
and it tells
screw.
a different story.
Yeah. So I've dealt with this my whole life, and I've learned to trust my gut instead of going by, oh, most people are good people, because that's what my dad kept telling me. Oh no, most people are good people.
I do believe that people are inherently good. I do believe that. But at the same time, I think that society influences people to think otherwise.
Well, it's witchcraft.
I think that the society, like, it is sometimes so bad that people have to be afraid or cautious because so many people in society are bad.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you know, when you look at the people that are running the show, you know, these people, guys, there's nothing good about these people. They are cold-hearted, Luciferian, satanic, worshiping
Evil people.
evil people. I mean, they're when they talk about, you know, drinking the blood of another, you know, it's true. You know, these people, they see us as the useless eaters. They see us as the bottom feeders. They see us as disposable. And
That's because they have all the money and all the power.
Yes, but once you realize that you are disposable to those people, it all becomes really clear to you, where it's you against the world. And so now that's why I think that people need to, you know, form communities, get your families ready, make sure you're prepped, make sure that, you know, there's going to come a time that all of
Have
the things
bullets,
that warned
have a
you
gun,
about,
have food, have all those things that
all
you
those things.
absolutely need.
Absolutely, because I firmly am in, you know, Ernie and Trish and Linda and Dwayne and Mike and Vanessa and Deb. Sorry if I forgot anybody else.
BRT.
these are the discussions we have in our chat every single day. We are talking about that. We are talking about what's going on in the world. What we see. Guys, Global Watchman News is not just me. It's not just Ernie. We are the faces of it. There are so many people behind
We
the
are
scenes.
a coalition of people who make sure that people know the truth.
Thank you. There you go. I couldn't have said it better myself, Damien. Thank you. Yeah.
I love you, Lori.
I love you too. It's been a while since we
I really have not.
Pascal.
I have not been this happy in a little while, and I am so glad to be on with you
I'm
because
so glad to have you. As soon as I realized what we were talking about today, like I said, I completely immediately.
I love you. I truly love you. And one day you're going to have to come down and visit, and we're going to have to barbecue, have a few drinks, and just enjoy some company together.
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me.
Y'all, you and Dave both. You got to come down and visit.
You got it. You got that. So, So, getting back to the cyber polygon, and the CERN being turned on, and the weather. Guys, I know I'm not the only one looking at the weather, going, "What the is going on?" I'm not.
Right.
Damien.
Absolutely.
How warm is it down where you are right now?
It is damn hot. That's what it is. It's hot and humid, and even now, it is still it's like 80 degrees and 50% humidity. It is horrible.
And you have had some pretty major weather in your area.
Absolutely. Some
this is something that
thunderstorms and lightning storms.
Yeah, it's unprecedented. Yes. Like I said, if you guys are not following Ryan Hall, y'all, over on YouTube, you guys need
Ryan Hall, y'all, is awesome.
Yes, he is.
He is, and he really gives some good predictions.
He saved a lot of lives.
And honestly, if you want a good app for a radar app that's going to show you the Doppler for your area, and this is just a plug because I love this app. I've been using it for years. And it's called My Radar.
I knew you were going to say that. I was actually pulling it up on my phone.
My Radar is a fantastic app.
That's one Dave and I use. Absolutely.
And it is accurate to within minutes.
Yep.
And I absolutely love it.
Matter of fact, if you see me,
I'm pretty sure Ryan Hall, I'm sure he uses it too.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, if you see me posting up on my Facebook page anything that has to do with weather in my area, this is where it comes from. My radar.
My radar, yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. And you have to get the pro version to get all the extras,
we follow
and stuff like
that. Earthquakes, we can follow earthquakes, hurricanes.
I have earthquakes, everything around, and there have been a ton of earthquakes lately.
Yeah.
A ton.
And you know what, guys, we are not even into the fire season yet.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Have you guys heard? I've been hearing there's a Telegram channel I've been following, and they're saying all these earthquakes are, above top secret subterranean troops that are going after the DUMBs, and that's what's caused.
I'm sure some of those earthquakes are administered by HARP or one of the. There's ships that go out and administer earthquakes, literally make earthquakes happen with
that's what happened
sonic waves.
Yeah, that's what happened with Fukushima and that catastrophe there. That was man-made.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be seeing, like I said, Ernie and I, we've talked about this all the time, but we're going to start seeing, we called this a month and a half ago, when we first started looking at all of this, saying, he said to me, Lori, he says, the second half of 2022 is going to be rocky. And I have to agree with you on that, Ernie.
I have to agree too. I absolutely have to agree because I believe that 100%. There's going to be more earthquakes. There's going to be more hurricanes. There's going to be more storms.
Yeah.
Across.
And not so much the storms, but the intensity of the storms. That's what we're seeing now is the intensity. I'm keeping an eye on the Atlantic Ocean for. I believe that we're going to have quite a few named storms coming through.
It's the Atlantic. Yes, it's the Atlantic.
Exactly. Damien, if you're comfortable in saying the state you're in, you're being asked where you are.
Oh, I'm in South Carolina.
There you go.
I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. That's where I am. I don't mind saying where I'm at.
I didn't think you would, but
No, I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys know about that?
My house is protected. Believe that. Come to my house. See what happens.
All right.
Did you guys hear about that?
But I'm in Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay.
And we have had, like, the things that happen here are ridiculous because storms will pop out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just
here too.
Bam, there it is.
Here too. It's crazy because I'll look at my radar. I'll get up in the morning and I'll look at it and there'll be nothing on the map. And all of a sudden I'll be downstairs here and I'll be like, God, it's getting awful cloudy. And I'll pull up the map and literally I can see them forming like 20 miles from my house, just out of nowhere, just forming.
Yeah, that's what it does here.
Yeah.
It has been doing that for months now.
I know.
Just popping out of nowhere and it just
Yep.
And I'm positive that it's heart that's doing it.
Oh, of course. And I think God's allowing it because this is judgment. Do you see how wicked everybody's
it's people that are doing it. It's not God. It's people.
No,
but he's allowing it though.
Of course, nothing happens.
And I think it's because
if we could talk about this later because I've got some stuff to say about God allowing things and him telling people to do things. So we can talk about this later off air so that people aren't put off by it.
Oh yeah. Okay. But I mean, did Lori remember the other day about that cargo ship? Was it a cargo ship in Japan, off of Japan or something? And it was just like cut in half. There's something on that water.
Ernie, I'm going to let you take that one.
Come on, Ernie.
Ernie, I'm going to let you take that one.
You want to let me take something? I've been able to get a word in for an hour.
Why are you so quiet?
You need to learn to butt in. Got to be quick.
I'm sorry.
No. I was just listening to everybody here.
We're gonna turn it over to Ernie because that was one of our first conversations that Ernie and I even started like digging into was watch the water.
Yeah.
Yes. Came up with an interesting revelation about what happened with those ships. And it's something that we all should know as Bible believers, but probably something that we overlooked.
What if we don't believe in the Bible? As a historical document, I can understand, but as something that is spiritual and uplifting, maybe not.
Well, listen to what he's got to say about it.
Well, with the things that's going on right now, I just have to say first and foremost, Bible's been 100% accurate. There's no way, shape, or form. And
absolutely.
And the fact of the matter is those ships have been split in half. That's not coming from a force ever before seen. And the Bible talks about these types of creatures that live in the ocean, one of which is Leviathan.
Leviathan?
Yep.
That is correct. Leviathan is very, very long serpent-like creature with very, very sharp teeth, and the government has been trying to find and kill this creature for many years and have been unable to do so. It's pretty much impenetrable by anything that man has ever created. So I firmly believe it is that creature that has the power to be able to do that to ships.
Yeah. So
What if that's just a prehistoric creature?
Look, guys, there's 3% of the ocean has been mapped out. We don't even know what's down in the depths of the ocean. I've seen some pretty creepy videos in the last couple of years. And we did a video talking, it was a show last year, I think it was, talking about the military explosions off the east coast of Florida. There was 2 of them. And then right after that, the fire broke out in the Gulf on the water. What did I say? I said, they know something's down there.
And I think it connects to the black goo.
Yeah.
And wasn't there something about the Falkland Islands in the 40s? Do you guys remember hearing about that? Over there by Antarctica, off of Antarctica and the Falkland Islands, and that's all this black goo and all that.
I knew that there was black goo in South
Black
America.
goo was actually shown to people on, I hate to say it, the X-Files. I love the X-Files. It was a great show. It was one of the only shows that I watched. And I haven't watched television in 10 years. But black goo was shown on the X-Files as a what's it called? A
Revelation of the Method?
no. An invasion of the body. It's a parasite.
Yes.
So it enters the body as a parasite and it takes you over.
Not surprising at all, considering a lot of research that Nicholson 1968 has done on the black goo. Not surprising at all. And we've seen it in the telegraphing in the shows and I'm not a Marvel comic watching kind of girl or whatever it is, but I know a lot of the superheroes.
Oh, I know who you're exactly talking about.
Is it Venom?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Venom.
Yeah.
So Ernie,
it's a parasite. It lives in you.
A symbiont.
It becomes a part of you. A symbiotic unit.
Yep.
So I want to ask Ernie, what do you know about the subterranean water?
This is an awesome conversation.
Because I'm not too far from Lake Hawthorne, which is in the middle of the desert, you guys, and there's a submarine base.
Yes.
Now, coincidentally,
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I know all about that place.
Yeah, so Walker Lake has this monster that people have talked about for years that pops up. Similar, and so does Lake Tahoe. They call it Tahoe Tessie, and it's supposed to be like the Loch Ness Monster. Now, Ernie, I was saying, well, you brought up Leviathan. I live next to Leviathan Mine, and I'm thinking, what if there's a subterranean, like channel of water underneath me that connects to that mine? Is this like Leviathan? Can he come up out of the mine?
There's an underground river that runs under Nevada.
There's actually,
you know that, right?
There's actually, if you've watched Hurricane Anne's video on the Pacific coast, there's actually an opening in the Pacific Ocean where you can take a aircraft carrier through the underground, and it's quite huge under there.
Yeah, she told me about it. There's like a UFO base off Malibu.
Yep.
Yeah, and did you know that area, by Malibu, there's a lot of like missing people, like the Malibu Canyon, Las Virgenes. There's like a lot of people disappear in there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we got to look at the Book of Genesis too. When it's described about how God created the earth. Now, what's the type of earth model do you believe in, Lori?
I believe in the Tychos model.
Right. Now, Tycho's model clearly depicts waters above, waters below.
Mm-hmm.
So now, when God flooded the earth, he wiped out all human beings and all creatures that did
The
not
Nephilim, right?
exactly aboard the
giants.
ship.
Yeah.
Now, suppose they knew where to go to be able to survive that flood.
Or if they were water creatures, like
exactly.
human DNA mixed with a serpent that could swim underwater, like Leviathan.
Exactly. So I wouldn't put it past. I mean, there's too many personal encounters that has been reported on these types of things to believe is not a fallacy. Stuff like that is true, in my personal opinion. Just like all the stuff that's going on. I mean, this has been predicted in the Bible, and the stuff that's going to happen has been predicted. I mean, with everybody that's pretty much going insane from all the stuff that's been going on and rebelling and stuff like that. Lori is right. It's going to open a door in which the son of perdition will appear on the scene, because everybody will demand to have a leader that can lead, for sure. And the fact that we're not necessarily dealing with man, and yes, we do have the capabilities of defending ourselves, but these principalities and powers have weapons that we haven't seen before.
That's
We're
right.
also dealing with entities that have technologies that no weapon that man has ever created will prosper against them. So this is not only a physical battle, it is a spiritual battle at that.
Yeah, and so I was asking Scott, my husband, earlier, because he's an exorcist or deliverance minister. So I was asking him, okay, so how are we going to fight like these things if our bullets don't work? Because they're not exactly human. And then, I mean, is it just like, could we cast them out? Is this like it's like, well, we kind of got to cover all bases, and the people that are like hybrids, like, you know what I mean? Hybrids between a monster and a human, they, the deliverance may not work on them, because if their deliverance only works on demons, not humans. You can't cast a human out. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a tricky situation, but
when you're looking at the Bible said that the Antichrist will wage war on the saints and overcome them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing that necessarily we can do in a fleshly form. That's why I always stress the fact that you got to put the whole armor of God on and get your houses in order, because when that time comes, and which your time is up on the earth and this stage, you will have the blood of Jesus flowing through your veins, in which you can be reborn again with the new heaven and new earth.
Mm-hmm.
When Jesus comes back. So, I mean,
do you believe in the rapture? Do you think he's gonna like rapture? Obviously, I think we're already in tribulation, so I don't think it's a pre-trib. It might be a mid-trib. What do you guys feel about that?
I'm post-trib.
Post-trib.
I don't believe in a rapture at all. There's nothing I've ever seen in the Bible that explains us being taken out before the tribulation. They said Jesus said that we will face tribulation. We will suffer because of his name. We'll be persecuted. So we're not going to be getting out of this mess without something drastic happening to us as far as the saints. Now, we might, if you weren't looking at a rapture to the point where we might pass away from all the stuff that's going on, yeah, I can agree with that.
Or a fake rapture. They could fake it.
I believe they could. Or Project Bluebeam could.
And here's where we get into the whole black goo and the graphene, because I mean, if these people are getting 2, 3, 4, 5 of these things we're not supposed to talk about, is that going to make the magnetism? There's definite ways that they can fake that. I want to set something straight. When I said I'm post-tribulation rapture, I guess rapture is a bad word. I believe that it's going to be at the last trumpet. I believe it's going to be pre-wrath. What we experience during tribulation is not the wrath of God. He's holding off until we are all taken, and then the wrath comes down, and that's the whole,
What if the wrath of God has already happened?
I don't believe that. It would be horrible. It would be hell on
Yeah.
earth.
I mean, it's already horrible. Look at the world
Oh my
today.
goodness, it can get so much worse.
Well, there's a series of 4 seals that has to be opened first.
Right.
I mean, this is nothing compared
The
to
seals,
what
the
happens when you
vials,
see.
and the bowls.
I don't think we'll leave. I don't honestly think we will live to see that day.
I hope not. But the more that's transpiring every day, every month, every year, leads me to believe that I may just be around for it.
Maybe.
I kind of think we all. I think we're all going to be in it.
Well, there's a clear indication that we're starting the tribulation period.
Yeah,
The
or
birth
very
of the
close
nation
to
of
it.
Israel.
Yeah.
But okay,
We're very close to it.
so
Yeah.
so here's the thing. It said 7 years of tribulation, but 7 years in biblical terms is 7,000 years.
Now that's in God's terms, not biblical terms. That's in God years.
Yeah, that's biblical terms, correct?
Mm,
So 7 years in God's eyes is 7,000 years.
but when he's telling us these things, he's not telling us in his time, I don't think. And just to clarify, up on the
But
screen,
man wrote it.
right up on the screen, I'm showing you guys the Tycho's model. I'm not a flat earther. A lot of people seem to think I am. I used to be. I used to be a flat earther until I started researching this. And this is what I believe. I believe the Earth is stationary, as you can see by this.
Yes, stationary, flat Earth.
No, it's
Lady.
not. I believe that it's stationary. The sun and the moon go around the Earth, and as you can see, the other planets go around the sun, which goes around the Earth. So we are
And
all
we
stationary.
don't travel millions and millions and trillions of miles around the sun. That doesn't happen.
Right.
Right.
I said
The only
that's
thing
why I
that's
said
flat
we're
is the only thing that's flat is the land and sea. That's it.
No.
With the exception of the mountains. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
no. Listen.
Oh, wait, no, I don't.
I've
wait, guys.
walked across
Stop.
this country.
Okay.
I've walked across this country. I
First off,
know
I don't want to get into a whole flat. I don't want to get into the whole
we
flat.
live on a flat plane.
I don't want to get into all of that right now. Somebody was asking about the Tycho's model. This is and I'm actually going to be, Dave and I are actually going to be interviewing Simon Shack, who's the guy who's put this information out there. We're just trying to get a time where Dave is home, and he's home because he lives in another country. He's over in Australia. So we're trying to coordinate our schedules to get him up there. So
okay, I'll give you a flat example of why I believe that the plane that we live on is flat, except for the mountains and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like the desert. I'll just give you an example of the desert. If you're driving across Nevada towards Las Vegas, it is 200 miles away from like the nearest place. Okay?
Yep.
And
I know
you can see the lights of Las Vegas for 200 miles.
Mm-hmm.
If the earth was round, then you would not see those because they would be over the point.
I'm still wrestling with those facts. I don't.
I have a question for you guys.
I walked across that desert.
Here's an update. This LV is in Canada. It's the second XW. This company Rogers losing service last year. It happened, not to this extent. And again, yesterday, it's not fully been restored as of this minute. 1 minute ago. It has not been fully restored.
And wait till they start doing that here. So I was wondering, okay, do you guys think the sun is what we've been told? Because
No,
I've
I
seen
don't.
like it change color.
No, absolutely
No.
not.
Absolutely not.
And then what is the sun, and why is it the same name as of the Father's Son? And then what is the moon? And then that Jetson White guy I was researching.
Have
he
you read
said-
the Book of Enoch? Have you
I've
read
heard about it, but no, I
There
haven't.
is, there
In
is
the Book
no
of
way
Enoch-
to actually tell because we have been lied to our whole lives.
Right. In the Book of Enoch, it talks about the stages of the moon. There's actually more than one moon, and it goes through it goes through doorways, and it comes, and that's how we have the different stages of the moon. We have the waxing,
Waxing and waning and
full moon,
Yep.
new moon. Okay, so that's if you're really, the Book of Enoch is where to read to discover what the moon is. The sun, I believe, is it's a plasma. I'm gonna sound crazy when I say this.
no, you're not going to sound crazy.
You know what? Give me a second. I'm gonna
It
pull
is
something
a
up.
ball of light that shines upon us, and it never leaves the surface. I mean, it never leaves the atmosphere of the earth. It doesn't.
Guys, look. Did Jesus not say no one comes to the Father except through me? And what if the sun is a portal
I was
to
just
the
gonna
other side?
see. I didn't have to say it.
That might actually be.
I'm gonna show
Maybe
you
the
guys.
sun is the sun.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys something here. Hopefully, it pulls up because my internet
You
is
know
glitching
what?
a little bit.
I
me 2
love
seconds
this
here.
intellectual conversation. I love it. It gets me right here in the chest
Oh, it's not
because
showing.
I cannot get this
Why is it
in
not-
the normal conversation of people every day.
I know.
And
Yeah.
and you know what? I love this intellectual conversation because it brings new thoughts to your mind, and it's uplifting to know that other people don't just believe what's being told to them.
I'm starting to think everything we've been told is a lie.
It is.
Everything we have been told is a lie. Everything.
I'm gonna show you. Okay, so here on the screen is a picture of supposedly a live picture of our sun. Now, I don't know if anybody has ever actually looked at these pictures.
It's not
live.
93 million miles away.
Okay,
I can tell you that.
Okay, but that aside, if you've looked at sunspots, or if you looked at these black openings, there's not many here right now on it, but usually sometimes you have some big spaces.
Oh,
Why
those
can you
are solar minimums and solar maximums.
Okay.
That's what they are.
My question is, when you're looking at them, why is it that you can see stars through them?
Because the sun isn't a solid piece of
It's
matter.
not a solid mass. Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that leads me back to the book of Genesis. When God created the earth, he said, have a greater light for the day and a lesser light for the night. I mean, you hit it nailed directly on the head, Damien. And it's not far away.
No,
nearly
it's
as
not.
far as they say it is.
No.
It's
Neither
on
is
the
moon.
edge. It's on the edge of our planet, or maybe within our planet.
Right.
But
I
on
mean,
the
they talk about the
outskirts of
firmament separating Earth
outskirts of the atmosphere.
from heaven, and there's waters above as well. So
Waters
where would they
above
put
and
the
waters
sun?
below.
Exactly.
As is below,
As above,
as
so below.
is above.
Yeah.
Like everything that is above as is below. Like there is a
Don't be bringing up no Baphomet reference up in here, man. Come on. Come on, man. We don't need that.
There is a symbiotic nature upon the earth, and it was created, and we don't know what created it. I have no idea what created it. I will not give it a name.
I call
I
that
will
God.
not call it God. because it is so much greater than a name.
Right. I see where you're going with that. Here's my theory on the sun. I believe that we've been lied to and made to believe to fear the sun because
I love the sun.
Well, because they want us to fear the sun. I mean, think about it. Wear sunscreen because you're going to get sun. Wear sunscreen because you're going to get sun cancer.
It can kill us.
I don't believe that.
It has the potential to throw off such heat.
I don't believe that those sun flares are real.
To burn a desert and make it into glass, because it did that before.
But I don't believe those. I do not believe those sun flares are real.
No, sun flares are real. That's what caused the burning. That's what caused the burning in like 1893.
That was the Carrington.
Yeah, the Carrington event.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What was that?
Those were
the
flares.
Event, supposedly there was a solar flare that came down, and anything that was electrical at that time it had the potential.
It was burned up.
It burned up.
People had their fingers burned at the time of the Carrington event from being on telegraph, and it burned up everything. It burned up the wires. It burned the people that were actually on the telegraph at the time.
It was in 1859.
1859. I'm sorry. I was off by a few years.
Yep. 1859. It was called the Carrington event. It says, on the morning of September 1st, 1859, amateur astronomer Richard Carrington ascended to the private observatory attached to his country estate outside of London. After cranking open the dome shutter to reveal a clear blue sky, he pointed his brass telescope toward the sun and began to sketch a cluster of enormous dark spots that freckled its surface. Suddenly, Carrington spotted what he described as two patches of intensely bright and white light erupting from the sunspots. 5 minutes later, the fireballs vanished, but within hours, their impact will be felt across the globe.
5 minutes later.
Yep. That night, telegraph communications around the world began to fail. There were reports of sparks showering from telegraph machines, shocking operators and setting papers ablaze. All over the planet, colorful auroras illuminated the nighttime skies, glowing so brightly that birds began to chirp. The laborers started their daily chores, believing the sun had begun to rise. Some thought the end of the world was at hand, but Carrington's naked eye had spotted a true cause of the bizarre happenings, a massive solar flare with the energy of 10 billion atomic bombs. The flare spewed electrified gases and subatomic particles toward the Earth and resulted in the geomagnetic storm dubbed the Carrington event. If that were to happen today, if the Carrington event were to happen today, that would put us back into the dark ages. It would make an EMP look like child's play.
That would be absolutely fine with me.
Right?
Yeah, but would a Faraday cave protect our stuff?
Yes.
Like,
no.
Can we add it in there?
No, absolutely not. Because even if you had a Faraday cage, it wouldn't matter, because all the rest of the grid is going to be down. Yeah. So all of your stuff is going to be down.
Yeah, a Faraday cage, I mean,
it would absolutely mean nothing.
Yes, your stuff would be protected, but who would you have to communicate when you turn your phone on?
Yeah. So what happened to all the electricity in the World's Fair that, way back then, and then now we don't have that technology? What happened with all that?
That is the question. As a matter of fact, Ernie and I are looking at the Tartaria.
The mud flood?
Okay, I have not heard of the Tartaria. We're
going to talk. We're not going to talk about that tonight, but we will talk about that. The Tartaria, it's actually a reset, and it's interesting because back when my grandfather was a kid, he talked to me about all of literally, guys, there was thousands of orphanages around the world.
Right.
Why were there so many orphanages? Where did the parents go? Where did the adults go?
Did they drown in the mud?
They were taken.
Yeah, they were. It had something to do with the reset. They
were taken. Oh no! I know exactly what you're talking about now.
The Tartaria, the mud floods.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes. It
Sorry.
is a topic
It skipped my mind for a moment.
maybe next Sunday night or maybe sometime during this week, we can do a show on the Tartarian, because I love talking about the mud floods.
But what do you think happened to the electricity? You think the mud floods wiped it out? That technology?
Well, yeah.
They're like mug
Crazy,
bloods.
because if you see the World's Fair, they had moving sidewalks. They had electric bikes. They had, I mean, it's amazing to look at the technology that they had, let alone the architecture of the time.
The electric cars dated back in the late 1800s.
Yes.
Really? They had
Absolutely.
electric cars?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that what? Oh, okay. So this was pre-Tesla.
Yes.
Way pre-Tesla.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Just Tesla was able to reharness the power of electricity.
I believe that when he was
In a
caught in
different way.
that electrical storm in his laboratory, when he had those demons that were speaking to him and giving him the technology, that's where it came from. Because we cannot duplicate anything that we see pre 1800 architecture. We can't even duplicate that today. Not even with the
We
modern.
can't, because the government stole it and put it in a lockbox.
Right.
Well, the thing is with the pyramids, back when we were talking about that and the planetary alignment, I mean, all this stuff there's nothing new under the sun. All the electricity was created back with the Nephilim. I mean,
Electricity, and you're right. Absolutely, you are correct.
So,
and when the pyramids were built, they were built on ley lines that were aligned with rivers and streams and the geomagnetic force.
Again, they needed that water to be a conductor. It conducted
hydroelectric power.
It's not even just that. Not just the water, but the geomagnetic force of the earth.
Yeah.
So we have pyramids all over the world, not just in Egypt.
Oh yeah.
They're in South America. They're North America. Here in the United States, we have pyramids, and they are all on ley lines and all geomagnetically connected.
Yep.
I mean, it kind of makes me wonder about Indian mounds. Is that considered like a pyramid in a sense? And were those intentional spots?
Oh, you want to know about the Indians? The Indians in the Arizona desert actually geographically built their villages on areas that were
portals
connected to Orion. So every village that was built in a way that would be geographically designed to mimic Orion, the whole constellation.
Right.
Oh, that's creepy. And what have you guys heard about Black people being the first indigenous? And then, even though we were trained to call them African Americans, I think it's a lie.
If Africa is the first place that people were made, let's say,
like Tanzania,
and supposedly that is where the first people were made. If you believe in the Garden of Eden and all that, that's in Africa.
Yeah,
so
like Tanzania.
You would have to believe that Africa is the place of the first man.
It's a cradle of civilization.
But I have seen so many pictures. I've seen so many pictures of Black Indians. And I'm hearing that maybe that we were one continent called like
Pangea.
Pangea. And
Pangea was one continent at one time.
So what is now America? Maybe that land.
I believe that Pangea was before the flood. It was all connected. It was the flood.
Was all connected.
Yes, Pangea was everything. All of the lands connected at one time. That was Pangea. All of the lands of the Earth were connected at one time. And then the asteroid hit the Earth and broke everything apart.
Now, see, if you believe in flat Earth, how can you believe in asteroids?
I mean, asteroids come from outer space.
But if we are under a dome, see, that's something that
There's something. I mean, we cannot go beyond the dome, but
no, we can't.
things from outer space can break through the dome, and there's even evidence to support that, because they found a blue stone in South America that was comprised of like 90% oxygen, and it came from the sky. There's nothing else like it.
There's actually, it's yes, I know what you're talking about, and they found it down in Antarctica also. It's called sky rock or sky ice.
Sky
ice. It's
sky
called
rock.
sky ice.
Sky stone, sky rock, something like that. But
if you guys are interested in learning about, Tartaria and the mud flood, on this channel, if you go to our playlist, our videos, you're going to find Lost History of the World and Lost History of the World 2. It's actually 13 hours worth of lost history. It talks about the mud floods. It talks about the technology.
13 hours.
Yes, it's worth it. It talks about the technology that they had back in the 1800s and the 1700s, and what the architecture, what the big church, what am I say? The big towers. They had flying machines in the 1800s that used to carry people across the oceans. I mean, literally, they had these massive flying machines.
The things that look like the Goodyear blimp?
Mm-hmm.
But then people are going to think we're crazy because...
Oh, no. This is all verifiable history. It's all verifiable hits. Thank you,
I've
Steve.
seen pictures of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, I totally get it, but some people are not going to believe that because we didn't fly until 1913 or whatever,
Well, we have pictures. We have pictures to prove that they had flying machines back then.
Da Vinci had
flying machines in ancient Egypt.
machines.
Yes, they did, Ernie. Absolutely, they did. It's crazy. Nothing new under the sun. Everything that we have in modern history.
In the 1700s had a flying machine.
Yep.
So what did they do? They dumbed us down and took us back like centuries, or
it was by design.
We have been lied to our whole lives, and that is the fact. We've been lied to our whole lives. There are things that exist that have existed beyond our time, beyond our comprehension.
Yep, exactly. Well, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. We are coming up on 2 hours, so I do want to continue this conversation. Maybe next week we can have a panel again and talk about that. Or
I would love to do this off air.
I do want to have a discussion about Tartaria and the mud floods. I think that's a fantastic conversation. But if you guys are interested in it, like I said, there's the 2 videos over on this channel. If you go into the videos, I will put them in the description area below for you guys. Ernie, you got any final thoughts? We haven't heard anything from you tonight.
Yeah, I've been sitting back listening to it all. I'm soaking it in so I can come up with rebuttals, but ran out of time. It's all good. But yeah, thank you guys for coming on tonight. It's great to hear different perspectives on things, whether or not we agree. It's great that we have a platform where we can come together and just open our minds to be able to discuss things with one another and maybe present us with certain facts that we never knew before. And that's what this is all about. To those in chat, thank you for being a part of our conversation tonight. As we all discussed tonight, we're being lied to. things are happening around the world at levels that we haven't seen before, and I'm afraid things are going to get worse. I'm afraid that the stuff we see now is going to pale in comparison to what's to come. This second half of the year is going to be extremely crucial, not only for our survival, but for us to get into the word. Whether or not you believe, take a deep dive. There's too many facts that has been presented that has shown up in present time, and it's my firm belief that it just things have gotten to a level where we need something otherworldly to be able to intervene in not only our lives but in this world in general. Don't get caught up in the things that are happening right now. Focus on yourself. Focus on getting your houses in order.
Exactly.
And do not have fear. We're not made to live in fear.
Exactly.
We are made to survive and live through the dark times, and that's what makes us stronger, both mentally and physically, and to those of us believers, spiritually as well. So don't let things shake your foundation.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. I want to thank, of course, my co-host Ernie Beware. I also wanted to thank DAMION MAYNARD for joining us. I'm going to put the link to his channel down there. Hopefully we can get a fire under this man's butt and get him back on the air. And I also want to welcome Trisha, who's always a perspective. And I'm going to put the link to her husband. Her husband is a deliverance minister. He does weekly radio shows. And I'm going to put the link in so you guys can follow him as well. I want to thank everybody in the chat room. I want to thank our moderators. And of course, I want to thank our supporters of this channel. I also want to remind everybody that there's a video that I put up earlier this afternoon. It talks about my cooperation with the channel called Progressive Patriot, Eli. Him and I are going to be sharing, we're going to be simulcasting a live stream talking about CERN. He is going to be taking the scientific aspect of it. I'm, of course, going to be taking the kind of spiritual element of it. And what we're going to be doing is having the discussion regarding the purpose of CERN. Is it safe and being used solely for scientific advancement, or is it being used for nefarious agendas to open up portals to other dimensions? That is going to be a date that's going to be determined. It will be here soon within the next couple of weeks. So please keep an eye out for that. So thank you to everybody again. And remember, guys, no matter what we say, the last thing we want you to do is be fearful, because that is not from the Spirit of God. And we always say here before we close the show, eyes open, no fear.